All right, part two of our Saturday uh return because the people have been clamoring nonstop outside my door for more episodes, for more content.
Give the
So,
people popcorn.
so we were continuing our discussion on Myles Garrett. He's a big
Yeah.
guy and he's got more experience than Jared Verse. So, and he's I thought they played the same position, but they don't.
No, he is Jared Verse plays inside linebacker and Myles Garrett plays outside linebacker on the line. So he's more like a defensive end. He is rushing the quarterback, whereas Verse is making tackles in the middle of the field.
Hmm.
And I think the biggest reason why would Cleveland do it is because they got all these young new draft picks. There's a young team, and Myles Garrett's been in the league 6 years now.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to go give the Rams this guy that's experienced and can win now, and get a young guy like Verse, who's now kind of the same age as all his contemporaries that Cleveland's got. And Cleveland's probably 2 or 3 years away, but all those guys are going to be studs.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a win-win. I like it,
All
but
right.
I didn't expect Luke Donald, not Luke Donald,
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald to
Who's Luke
say
Donald?
Luke Donald is the Ryder Cup captain of the stupid British.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that even a person?
Oh no,
Okay,
he's he's a person.
he's real. All right, good.
It's a good fit, and the fact that Aaron Donald says I want to play with him means it's a real good fit.
That's nuts. I can't believe we're getting Aaron Donald back. I'll believe it when I see it, but man, I'm
Well,
excited.
he has to pass a physical and some stuff, but like he's a stud and he stays in shape. So, his that dude, he's one of those dudes that my body is, a temple.
All right, well then that's good. Then it shouldn't be too long to shake off the rust. Wow. Very much looking forward to this season. Um Outside of that, I don't know too many things that have happened. I feel like quite there's been a few arrests, but no one I can remember I can talk about or remember their names. So
Well,
we'll
but
just wait till
Puka, he had a complaint, a civil complaint against him. He, I mean, the gal said that he bit her on the neck from the back seat of a van. They were going to some, celebrity party. She was in the row ahead of him. He was flirting with her. He was
he
drunk. He
he bit
probably
her
got a
neck.
drinking problem.
Yeah, he's young and stupid,
Yeah.
and he's letting his
The little head's controlling the big head.
yeah, you could say that or what's something what's what the trying to think of the expression a lot of kids use today, like his intrusive thoughts or he's letting them win, you know.
I like that. Well, but the issue really was, I think he was at Eastern University. Nobody paid him attention. Nobody cared about football. And suddenly he's getting all this attention.
Now he's the belle of the ball
He
and
is the belle of the ball and he doesn't know how to deal with it. So
yeah, I kind of feel like Dalton Rushing kind of has a little bit of the same thing going on. Um,
it's funny you brought him up. Your mom and I just like, we can't get over this guy. I mean, he's such a red ass. He's
he's
constantly doing this weird
he
shit.
just wants to be great and he sees himself as great. And if he's not great, he'll 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 see that as a reflection of himself. So he needs to be great. I feel like I sounds like someone that sounds very much like myself, or at least
He's
my old
he's
version of myself.
he's really good, Teddy. He's really good. It's just like he does things like the idea that you would go out of your way to try to spike the shortstop on a double
Yeah,
play.
he's a spaz and he needs to like chill out and he wants to win too much, which is like I get
And
it. You want to be great, but yeah, at the cost of your no one wants to hang out with you because you're
yeah,
weird.
it's funny. He's going after that shortstop, and the guy's he's like 4 years in the league. He's not a veteran, but he's a veteran. And he's looking at Rushing on the ground like,
What are you
dude, what,
doing?
you're going to hurt somebody. What? We're professionals. We're making money. What do you want to hurt me for?
Yeah, I really someone needs to talk to him. And I feel like Kike is crazy enough that he would listen, but I haven't seen him do any weird antics since then. That's the last one he did, right?
That's the
All right. Well, I guess we're still on watch
last
to make
one.
sure he doesn't.
I'm understanding that Mickey Rojas is now in charge of his behavior. So, which is
Good.
that's a good mentor. That's a
That's a,
good mentor.
all right. I feel good about that because this kid needs to like take a chill pill. All right.
Really.
Let's see what else we got on our list of things. Um, so Spencer Pratt is out of the election. I noticed that, and so despite everything, um, despite the Palisades fire going down under Karen Bass's watch, people would prefer her to stay in power. And I don't know if that's necessarily the people all saying that or like the money, the power behind her wants her. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy to see. I remember someone online, I think I remember saying what I don't know, I just can't believe people are like actually they're more afraid of trying something different than somebody who like I'm not gonna blame the Palisades fire on her, but but the shit that we needed to be, you know, we weren't prepared. And
Well, her campaign, her original campaign was based on I'm an Angelino. I will always be around to take care of the issues. And then, she gets a report of 100-mile-an-hour winds coming to LA Basin, and she flies to Uganda. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? And then nothing happens while she's gone. She can't, kind of the whole world is figure out how to manage from home or from a telephone or from a computer, but she can't do it. She can't push the buttons so that the guys can, kind of get water and fight a fire in two different places. In the meantime, there's the Fed has stopped. There's like a lot of money that went to LA County, the county of LA, not the city, but the county for the problem with with the homeless. And part of the reason they got that money was because the World Cup was coming and nobody wanted to see our goddamn homeless all over the place. So now the money got held down because they started looking into how they were spending their money. And the watchdog corporation that was put in charge of LA County to take a look at it, they've run their first analysis, their first audit dive, and they're now this came out yesterday that they're estimating about 80% of the funds misused. 80%. And
not
while they were
surprised.
while they were looking at it, they found out that they were taking a look. They did a shallow dive into the ballot harvesting that basically Spencer Pratt was saying. There's no way they can get all these votes instantaneously. When they found out that campaign management for both people, for the two ladies that went through on the runoff, they were they found some company was paid to go around and harvest the ballots. And so what they were doing is there anybody homeless on Skid Row or wherever, they gave them $5 cash to basically sign a ballot that was already pre-edited. It
Mm,
was already picked, and they just went to homeless, to drug addicts, and they went to union meetings where different unions within the county that kind of control the workforce they were at, and those people were getting an undisclosed amount of money to sign ballots.
mm.
So all these ballots came in for the Indian lady and
Karen.
Karen, and those two are now in the runoff, and they say that the other I can't what's the name of it?
Oh.
There's basically three people in this ballot for city. mayor, and it
Mm.
was Spencer Pratt. God, I can't
I
think
don't
of
know
her
the
name.
third lady. Honestly, I
But
can't.
that lady
I never heard
was
of her before.
okay. So she actually got second place, but she Ramahan. She's a county supervisor, and her Ninthia Raman, and her area is like the Studio City area of LA County that has got like the one, she is the only supervisor in LA that allows homeless and drug addicted within 500 feet of elementary schools and daycares.
Hmm.
She allows it. She thinks it's a good thing.
No
She's the one,
way,
yeah, she is the one voting for that
man.
stuff. And so, for whatever reason, she's trying to undo, kind of American, Constitution.
Why is
Um,
this happening?
and for whatever reason, the unions are supporting her. So she'll probably win in the runoff because she's got more money behind her. She's got all the unions that cover LA County. And it's just the craziest fraud thing that they're uncovering, and they're just getting started. When it comes out, it's going to be so ugly. So
Good. I hope that's big
well, and
and
and and
televised and
maybe if
publicized
it's
and
if it's nasty enough, the two people that were, kind of in the middle of it, our mayor and the LA County supervisor, they might get, who knows, they might get DQ'd, and Spencer Pratt is in. So more to be seen later, right?
damn. So it sounds like, I mean, it would be a Hollywood movie if somehow they got found out, exposed for fraud, and somehow Spencer Pat won. That would be ridiculous. So I'm gonna guess that doesn't happen.
Well, but here's the awful thing about it, and the reason why it might not happen is because this is all due to a bill that Newsom signed off on. I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, but essentially legalized ballot harvesting to unions, to the homeless, to illegal aliens.
What?
He signed off on a bill 2 years ago, which they're going to find out, I think, in this process. I mean, they might have to undo the bill, but the bill allows you to do that. You can actually, quote unquote, pay people for their time to vote. And so the $5, the homeless doesn't know. They just go, wow, that's another hit.
Yeah,
Or,
they just keep the homeless around for these elections, it seems like.
oh, and now they're finding out, just like what I always knew this is true. There's no way we could have this much homeless. If my children were homeless, and I saw them out on the street in LA or something, you'd go take them home and you'd try to rehab them. And so the reason why these people are out there, I've always had this theory, is that they're not from here. And sure enough, the same audit that they're doing on LA County, they're starting to count where these people from. And most of the people they're running into homeless in LA, they're not from LA. They're not even from California. They're from other states, which makes more sense. It's making more sense because what would you rather do? Get your Social Security check in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and just drink whiskey? Or would you rather do heroin on the streets of LA? I mean,
Heroin in LA, baby.
they're down for heroin.
It's just simply a better time. I mean, come on.
I was
It's
playing in my
obvious.
I was in my seniors golf tournament on Thursday, and on the last hole, on the ninth hole, three of us, we all hit into the sand trap on the right, and we were all about 3 yards apart in this big sand trap. And I said,
Nice.
before the first guy hit, I said, closest to the pin for a hit of heroin. And, the, and these were old dudes I was playing with. I mean, one dude almost split his pants laughing. I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know where that comes from in my head, some of the things I say. I was like, wow, what the hell did I just say?
Man. Hey, continue to be unexpected. And I think that goes a long way with comedy.
Yeah, that's your Drewski guy. That's
You've been
his whole
watching
bit.
Drewski?
No, but every time I see him, he's trying to come up with something that's just so outrageous.
I love him,
But
man. I gotta see him again when he comes back to town.
it's outrageous, but it's also somehow, it kind of fits into the current situation.
I mean, what do you think about his Erica Kirk spoofs?
I just don't think it's a good idea to do that kind of stuff. But I also, at the same time, I see the same thing. Your mom and I were talking about
You
it
see
before
it, dude. We don't trust
we
her.
we were talking about it before we saw Drewski. We were like, he
She
kind
seems
of
a little
seems like
weird,
one of
and
those evangelists, Protestant evangelists,
you don't. It's virtue signaling, and the way she like tries to like be very like formal, like this needs to stop. It just seems
But
very like
I don't see the virtue signaling. I mean, she's got fake jewelry that looks like it's a
it's not.
million dollars a ring.
Well,
Like that's not virtue signaling. That's like I'm so successful signaling.
no, you're right. Well, what turning point is supposed to be virtue sig it is a one big virtue signaling for their conservative outlet. But you're right. She's she presents herself as not like a morning or says she puts herself out like that, and it just comes off as very disingenuous. It's like, who are you?
I know you don't read my goddamn Substack,
I'm
but
sorry.
you ought to go take a look. I did one on virtue signaling about I don't know, maybe about 3 articles ago, and you will laugh your ass off.
All right. I have to, hopefully I
Because
have that bookmarked here somewhere
virtue
to read.
signaling is one of my favorite topics. I
Ugh,
love it. I just love it when people do that. It's just too funny.
I I really should have your, well, you sent me some other people's Substacks, and I thought that was you, but they were someone else's writing. So I was like, oh,
No, I never
what
sent
the?
that to anybody
Yeah, you
else.
did. You sent me other someone else's
That's
stuff.
me in error. That
Yeah.
has to be me in error.
No, dude, that was you. I know when you send me an email.
I'd never send somebody else.
That's got you
Can
written
you
all
ma-
over it.
can you see me walking down the street with a sandwich board for somebody else? Come on.
All right, here we go. We always have poor. Can we stem the tide of poverty? That's
No,
one of
not that
yous.
one. It's not that one. I said it's about two or three ago.
Podcast.
Are you going to make me go over there on the phone? Rat bastard.
Pledge my support. I'll pledge some support. How well do countries at war contribute to charity and manage civil unrest? June 1st. That seems like your latest and greatest.
Well, no, my latest was will we always have poor? Can we stem the tide of poverty? But the one before that, it has a little bit of virtue signaling in it.
Left brain versus right brain. Which one wins?
No, how well do countries at war contribute to charity and manage civil unrest?
I just read that.
Okay. I in that one, I like to spotlight the fact that, like America we're kind of at war, so I put us in there, and I determined that we civil unrest, about 50 people a year die in the United States. In China, it's about like last year, it was like 1.1 million of
Oh,
those natives that are way down on the eastern
the
western.
Uyghurs.
Yeah, those guys, 1.1 million of them disappeared, right?
Mm.
And of course, you get big numbers in Russia, and you get big numbers. Iran is about 70K a year, and it's not even that big a country. So
Hmm. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't see you pushing the podcast on your Substack. What the hell's up with that?
you know what? That's bad on me. You're right.
Where are the links? Where
Uh,
are the links? I put you on the YouTube channel, so
okay. Well, off camera, I need a little coaching on how to do that because that's a great.
all right.
You're
Well,
right. You're right.
You're
I should
white.
be doing it. I'm white.
You heard me.
I'm black on white.
I was joking, and I said that kind of to myself, and you heard me. Because it just the way you said it, it sounded like that. All right, wait. All right, back to the task at hand. Um, I see some things you've written here. Do we need a law for slandering in campaigns?
That's your mom wanted that one on the list. So
Oh, Mary getting on.
she's pissed. Whatever she's pissed about, it takes about 2 or 3 days. She just keeps talking about it, and she gets me pissed. But this is one she's been talking about for a couple of days, so I put it on there. And essentially, somebody's trying to write a bill that would, disallow people from slandering other people in campaign speeches and campaign advertising. But her take on it is, how can that possibly be legal? Why do you need a bill to control that? How come people can't just control themselves? So it kind of sheds a light on the fact that people don't have self control anymore. There's none. Doesn't exist.
But like, I feel like that is so you can't just say whatever about somebody, especially like just like oh like this so and so is like a you know you just say whatever crazy things. Person's a
Yeah.
murderer,
No,
domestic
you just say
abuser,
this
and it's
guy
like none
eats.
of that could be true. And then people are gonna be like, what the hell?
He eats ants or whatever. It's like this guy in Maine,
He
that the
eats
guy that
ants.
just got made it in Maine, who's absolutely crazy and does whatever he wants. He's like a, rich kid over there in Maine. And for some reason, the people in Maine who are not like that at all, they came out and voted for the guy because he's popular.
Hmm.
It's the craziest. We, man, this is like sixth grade politics. Let's vote for the guy who's popular right now. I might hate his guts in 2 weeks, but I'm voting for him today. It's weird. We are so immature. Damn, we're immature. I can't believe who we vote for.
Yeah. I almost feel like I'm just gonna like see who gets the most money and not vote for that person. Vote for who's getting the someone who's not getting a lot of donors because that person's not getting supported by big money and they
Well, and that
probably have more of an interest in the common man than what their donors' interests are.
and
And I
that
think
that
that's what we
is
need.
I was actually, along those same lines. I kept thinking the guy with the most money for the government seat is Steyer, right? He has been, ad after ad. We see Steyer ads everywhere all the time, and he didn't make it. He only got to like fourth in the polls, and he didn't make it to the runoff, which
Nice.
I'm glad.
I just can't trust them because it's like they're not themselves. They are themselves and the backing of these shadow people.
Well, and then but he's got his own money. He got plenty of it. But it's really weird. Your mom kept going, there's something about
But he's
this
not
Steyer.
if he's using it only he's I mean he's still taking it from other people, which means he's getting influenced. Which means
Well,
it doesn't all his money in the world, it doesn't matter how much he has. He's still accepting bribes or I mean it's not a bribe, but it's like kind of like a bribe.
anyhow, your mom was going, I can't believe anybody vote for this guy. I mean, every time he talks, it looks like he's lying. He seems like a slippery dude. She goes, you know what I mean? I said, well, I said, I could never vote for the guy. And I honestly, I can't. There's something about him I really don't like, and I don't know what it is. But one morning I woke up and said, I'm having a cup of coffee, and I go, you know what? I finally figured out what it is about Steyer that I don't like. Okay. He either, this is slanderous, so I can't run for office after I say this, but either looks like it's because he looks like Martin Short, or he looks too
And that's
much
a
like
problem.
or he looks too much like a penis. And that's
Who is this guy?
Steyer.
What's his first name?
Steyer.
Steyer what?
Steyer. He's a
Steyer Og?
he's a billionaire in California, and he was running and I mean spending money like crazy.
Tom
You can't put
Steyer.
Tom Steyer. He looks too much like a penis.
I guess I see what you're seeing.
Well, it was
He just
either
looks like a
like,
dickhead.
yeah, that's it. It was either Dickhead or Martin Short. And
I see
like,
both. I see both.
yeah, you see the Martin Short there?
I see the penis and the Martin Short.
Yeah, he's a cross between a penis and Martin Short. And that guy can't, that's not gubernatorial.
We don't need that in our government.
No.
We don't need guys that look like penises or billionaires for that matter, because they're just going to abuse the position. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. They got enough money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anything else we should let's see. Ooh, this is an interesting thing you put here. The Ukraine war is longer than World War One now. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
actually yesterday it was 1 day longer than World War One. And it's a
Wow.
long war.
That's
And
so
the
embarrassing for Putin.
and the tide is turning. I mean, they're
It's
now
starting to
able,
turn, I feel like. It's like, come on, let's go.
they got close enough to them now that they can shoot missiles at Moscow.
Well, also Moscow's air defenses are so thinned out. They cannot possibly cover everything. So yeah, that's why they're getting through. And those things, those air defenses are not, something they can just rebuild. So when they take them out, it's huge. And they
And
are
it was
starting to take out things. And they still choose to take out things that don't involve civilians, whereas Russia keep going for civilians.
Yeah,
So
and so did the Iranians. That's this they got that in common. And I thought it was funny that the
so
Russians
pariah
tried,
states do.
yeah, or Russia tried to sneak a oil tanker into Hormuz, and who caught it? Was it the French? I think
Really?
the Yeah, I think the French decommissioned it, knocked it out of. I I don't remember exactly what they did, but it was an old piece of shit tanker, and the French basically the word is disabled it. It could not operate anymore. They couldn't control it.
Mm.
So I don't maybe they did an EMP on it or something. Who knows what they did, but they can't steer it. So it's just sitting out there in the water and it can't move. It's in the ocean.
The updates I usually watch from my YouTube channels are not very interesting. They're kind of boring. If anything, it just shows that Russia is still losing tons and tons of people a day. I think they lost 100,000 in May alone. And that's like, 50,000, you know, casualty and then like another 50 dead. So,
Speaking about Korea, you mentioned Korea. If you get a chance, go look at the YouTube of their soccer game last night.
mm.
They played well. Do you know
I
who
was
the guy
actually
is?
watching it just before we started this and it was tied, so I don't know what happens.
Okay, well, you know the dude's son. Remember, he used to play for Manchester United. Now he plays for a lesser club, but he's still pretty damn good. He gets two really good, not goals, assists in this game where
Oh,
he just looks like he's outer world, kind of like how Pulisic looked last night. He just went like between guys.
dude, he creates so much opportunity for the offense. I can't wait for game two, man. I feel
Yeah,
like we're gonna beat Australia if
but
what I
he's
saw is gonna happen again.
but he's still a small dude, and so he'll take shots in the back. People take shots at him because he's like Landon Donovan. By the way, have you seen Landon Donovan?
He's full,
The last time you saw him, he's probably early to mid 40s, and he almost didn't have any hair on his head.
yeah.
Suddenly, he's got hair on his head again.
Oh shit. I thought you were gonna say he's full bald now, which
No,
hey, no problem with that. But okay, so he
no, he
decided that wasn't the look for him. All right.
he figured out crop science, and it is a different. There's agriculture going on up there. I'm not kidding.
He, he got trying to continue the agriculture humor, but I got nothing. Um, okay, well, hey, Baldies, guess what? You too, but of course he's a TV guy, so They might
Yeah,
have access to a different formula of Bosley than, maybe you
he,
can order online.
he was hosting last night. I can't remember who the guy he was talking with, but Donovan's like 5'8", right? And the same with Pulisic, but they're smaller men. And the guy who was next to, oh, it was Dempsey. He was next to Clint Dempsey. And Clint Dempsey's about 6'1", and he's looking, but you can see Dempsey can't keep his eye off the cornrows. He just can't. He just every time the camera goes to Dempsey, he's looking at how
Wait,
the hell did
cornrows. You didn't mention.
no, it looks like he's growing corn on his head. Don,
Oh, oh,
and
Donovan.
Donovan's got agricultural
His new hair
agriculture.
looks weird.
It doesn't look right. And a few times I catch Dempsey out of the corner of his eye. He's looking at it like, and Dempsey's not a hair boy. He was always a crew cut guy,
All
and
right,
he's
hold
on
on.
TV with the crew cut.
Oh my God, people, that's they're talking about that. Landon Donovan hairline is the real comeback story of the World Cup. Wow. That's what they're saying on Twitter. Look at him. I don't even, yeah, dude, he's got well, his hair is different. That's what's so interesting about
It's
this.
curly,
The
and so is
hair that he used to have, I gotta look at an
yeah.
old Landon Donovan.
He,
He didn't have
he
that kind of hair. So
no,
this is
he
very,
went from wavy to curly.
and like he had a widow's peak type of shape,
Yeah,
and they gave him a new shape.
yeah. It's all almost like he took like the DNA off of a South Central dude because it's not
Who
it's got a
the
more
hell? He looks like Rory McIlroy uh and Baker Mayfield.
yeah, but Pulisic. I don't know if you saw Pulisic, but it's
What
almost
a
like you're
weird
going.
guy. I don't know this person.
But Pulisic had the same haircut, the same kind of curly thing going on,
I just
and
think you should, if you're gonna if you're gonna grow your shit, I mean, you should have kept the peak. That was like a distinctive look, but
well,
I guess it wasn't coming out very far. And with this new formula, it's like he can't keep it back. It's sprouting all over, like you
all
say.
I know is I couldn't keep my eyes off it. No, neither could Dempsey.
All right, see, I'm looking at an older photo of Landon, and even when he had like pretty strong looking hair, dude, that peak was there. So
Yeah,
for it to not be there is so like not,
I'm very sad. I was like
it's not
praying
who
that
he
this
is.
this would not come up on this call because I knew that this would take over the conversation. I knew it. Yeah, it does.
Well, this is a good way to end it out.
So
Where
Teddy looks it up on the internet, and he says, "What was that quote you said? The big comeback? What?
it's the
The World Cup comeback for the U.S. is more about Landon
no.
Donovan's
Twitter, the real football feed said Landon Donovan hairline is the real comeback story of the World Cup. And yeah, dude, looking at one of these photos, oh my God, the first one is very troublesome.
I wish I wouldn't have brought it up because I felt so bad, but I couldn't like
And
go, like Dempsey, you've been on TV before. You got to keep your eye on the teleprompter.
and I
But the
got
whole time, Dempsey's looking at the top of Donovan's head. So then I start looking, what is he looking at? The next thing I know, I discovered he's got agriculture on the top of his head going.
not only that, but this photo has also highlighted for me his skin color. He's got a nice little suntan going.
Yeah. And Landon Donovan, always the nicest guy in the world, really a gentleman. And I hate to be teasing the guy, but I couldn't keep my eyes off the head last night.
Yeah, man, I don't recognize him. He looks like a different person.
But as long as you're there, look at Pulisic's new haircut style, and it's his real hair, but he got like a perm.
Oh, well, that's like just the look, unfortunately. And
Okay, well
that is what the kids, especially in England, they like this little like it's like a muffin top.
okay. Now that's more McElroy, but it's what would I say? What is it that you do to me in the morning to you knock me off my game? You're doing something.
That almost sounded bad.
No, when you get distracted, it's like a distraction. I don't need a distraction.
I hear you, but hurry up and think about it because we're running out of time.
No,
Again, even though we're on the professional tier
it's
for this,
distraction. It's distraction. It's distracting. I want to want when I turn it on, like when I watch the election, I don't want to see Tom Steyer that looks like a penis. I want to see election coverage. Okay. When I watch soccer, I want to hear about the soccer. I don't want to
well,
be
think
staring at
about how it
Landon
is for
Donovan stuff.
him. His opponents are all like, "Oh," and that extra like second they look at his hair,
But it worked for Pulisic
he's already
because
cut, he's already making the cut and
did
getting the
you see
shot off.
Pulisic angle between two guys? There was no angle, there
Yeah,
was
I
no
saw that.
room, and he went through it.
It's
And
true.
it only had to bend the hair. They had to see the perm. They
They
got a
both
look.
saw it, they locked on and they're like, "Oh," and then
He
he
went
shot
through
it.
it.
All right. Good way to end it.
All right.
All right, we're back, America.
And drop me a note on the other side about how I can transfer my Substack over there. All
All
right.
right, we'll do.
Later. Love you, son.
Later.
Have a
Love
good date. Bye.
you.